Leo Fant claims the defendant let his dogs run wild while she was house-sitting for him, and an expensive painting was ruined. Mr. Fant is suing Courtney Mency in the amount of $1,240. Ms. Mency claims she secured the dogs as instructed when she had to leave the house, but the doggy gate wasn't up to par, so it's not her fault they got out.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
All parties must sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Deputy Thomas. Your painting was ruined. I see you made it a point to bring it so you can actually show me the condition that it was in.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. Talk to me about this painting.
Your Honor, I got this at an art convention about 2 years ago, and it has no specific sentimental value to me. However, it was my personal property.
Yes.
And I went on a business trip last month, and I left Miss Courtney Mency in charge of my property.
All right, Miss Mency, you were staying at his residence watching his abode while he was out of town.
Yes, I was house sitting.
All right, what was the relationship between the two of you prior to you house sitting?
We were co-workers a year ago.
All right. And out of all the people, sir, that you could have had house sit, why did you choose Miss Mency?
Because Miss Mency's always been very professional at work.
Okay. You trusted her?
I did, and she's a friend. At least I thought she was.
And how long have the two of you been friends?
Only for about a few months.
You'd only been friends for a few months and you let someone stay in your house for a week while you're not there?
I did, for 8 months.
You're pretty trusting.
Yes.
Or is it that you didn't have anyone else?
I did.
You did? You had people that you knew longer and had more of a relationship with, and you chose Miss Mency over them?
I did.
Why?
I felt as though Courtney was actually probably the most professional I'd known at the time.
Okay. So out of all your options, she was the best one.
Absolutely.
And you were basing it on the extent of what you knew of her, her professionalism, her thoroughness, her trustworthiness.
Yes, Your Honor.
What was the agreement between the two of you, Miss Mency? Were you just doing this out of the kindness of your heart?
No, I was actually getting paid.
All right.
I was getting paid $100 to watch the house and his two dogs for a week.
All right, $100 a day?
No, $100 in full.
That's it?
Yes.
Well, why would you just do that only for $100?
Because he's a close friend, and I thought I would have done it for free. But if he was willing to pay me $100 just to sit at his house and watch his dogs, it was fine.
Where do you normally reside?
I live in an apartment about a couple miles away from him.
Okay. Now, are these indoor dogs?
Yes, sir.
And I take it part of the deal was you would get them out and allow them to do their business, stretch, and all that good stuff.
Yes. My job was to take them out a couple times a day, and if they were ever inside of the house, to leave them inside of a room that had a gate.
I have a specific room in my house that I've reserved in my back room. It's my guest room, and I leave my dogs in there inside a baby gate.
Okay, and there's a baby gate.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
What happened?
So it was just a regular day. I was watching the dogs. Everything was going fine.
Yes.
And I did have to leave very quick to run down to the store to get some medicine because I was feeling kind of sick. So I left for 45 minutes. It was supposed to be sooner, but there was traffic. And I came back, and the dogs were out. The only thing that I saw when I came in was they had dumped over a trash can, and they went through the trash can, got into some food and some paper plates and stuff. But I immediately cleaned it up, put the dogs in back behind the gate, and I know that I locked the gate for a fact. So I went back to go see what the problem with the gate was, and I started to push on the gate just to see if maybe it wasn't secure enough. And I pushed on the gate a little bit, and it tipped over. So I then started to realize that, it was his gate that wasn't very secure.
When you came back, was the gate already tipped over?
It was tipped over.
Then you knew that the dogs had tipped the gate over even then.
Yeah, but I wanted to see if maybe the dogs pushed through the gate.
Either way, you knew that gate was not holding the dogs based on how you were operating that gate.
Yeah.
Correct?
Correct.
The remainder of the week, how many days are we talking about?
There was 3 more days left.
When you would leave, how would you secure the dogs?
Well, after that incident happened, I didn't leave because I didn't want that to happen again. So I kept a close eye on them, and when I was around, they wouldn't try to escape.
You never left the house for 3 days straight?
I didn't leave the house. I stayed in the house.
Coming up on America's Court.
He believes that it was my fault that the dogs got out.
It was your fault, Courtney.
Whose fault was it?
I think that his gate wasn't properly secure.
Okay.
It was a baby gate. It wasn't a pet gate.
America's court is back with the case of Leo Fant, who is suing Courtney Mency for property damage.
You didn't go to work? You didn't go to...
No,
go
I
get
didn't
some-
have, I wasn't currently working at that
All right.
time.
You didn't feel sick or anything, Courtney?
I'm sorry, Mr. Font, you don't get to ask the questions. I don't even need to know what you were asking.
Yes, Your Honor.
The issue here is you chose her. She didn't choose you. These dogs get out. I don't get the sense that this was anything malicious or intentional. You come back, you pay her the $100, I assume. And what was the condition of the abode when you saw it?
The house was fine, Your Honor.
Was it clean?
Yes, it was just fine.
It was how you left it.
For
There were
basic-
no issues in terms of was anything lost or stolen or broken absent this issue of the painting.
No, Your Honor.
So it's fair to say that Ms. Mency honored the terms and conditions of the agreement that you entered into her with respect to everything other than the painting.
Well, I wouldn't say that, Your Honor,
All
because
right, let's not talk about the painting. Let's talk about the other things. What are they?
my dogs, Your Honor.
What was wrong with the dogs?
I don't believe she was around, Your Honor.
Okay, do you have psychic powers?
No, Your Honor. I don't.
No. What is it that she did that was not to your satisfaction? Nothing. That's the answer that I want. Now, let's talk about the painting. Did you see the painting?
No.
How was it that you were unable to see the painting?
His paintings were behind his couch.
You
They
said
weren't-
paintings. Was there more than one?
There was more than one painting.
How many paintings were there?
There were 3 paintings.
All right. One of the 3 paintings, there was a problem. Yes?
Yes.
You saw the 3 paintings there while you were in the home?
No, he had actually, when he called to tell me, he told me that he had 3 paintings behind the couch and that one of them was ruined. And I had no recollection of paintings even being there since
No
they were
recollection?
behind the couch.
You want her to pay for the damage of the painting.
Absolutely, yes.
The cost of the painting is $1,240.
Correct, Your Honor.
Can you prove that?
Yes, Your Honor, I have proof.
Show me. Miss Menzie,
Anything else?
Yes.
why should you have to pay for the damage to the painting?
Well, he believes that it was my fault that the dogs got out.
What's your fault, Courtney?
Okay. Whose fault was it?
I think that his gate wasn't properly secure.
Okay.
It was a baby gate. It wasn't a pet gate.
Did you notice it the first day?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And did you call them and say, this is a baby gate. I don't know if these dogs are going to be held.
No, I figured, you know, if they were his dogs and this was his system of working and he had let me know that this is what he had done in the past, that I figured this was maybe the way he
All
did
right.
things.
So then when the dogs got out, did you call them and say, I had a little issue with the gate?
No, I did not call him.
Why didn't you do that?
I didn't. I knew that he was on a business trip, and I know he cares a lot about these dogs, and I didn't want him to stress or worry over it.
Okay, so when he gets back,
It actually slipped my mind. I didn't even think about. It was such a little occurrence that had happened, and it hadn't happened again. So I didn't. And nothing was, in my view, ruined or anything was wrong. So it just slipped my mind to even mention that that had happened.
tell me what happened. Was there any sort of problem or dysfunction with that gate?
Yes, there was.
Okay, then if you continue to use it the 3rd subsequent days, why would you continue to use something that wasn't operating properly?
I didn't feel that it was my job to go out and buy a new gate for his dog.
I didn't say you had to go out and buy a new gate, but if there are doors that close and you want to make sure the dogs don't get out, there were other means, because clearly the dogs had free range of the house, so to speak, right?
At times when I let them out, they did have.
Okay. And
free.
the other times when you didn't let him out, you used that gate that he had provided.
Yes.
I got it. Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel has to come down in favor of the plaintiff. I know you did this just to be nice and you would have done it for free. The fact of the matter is, even if you accept, oh, I'll watch your dog and the dog gets hit, or the dog bites someone and the dog is in your care, or a pet or something, you are liable. Which is why I'm making a point to tell folks all the time, think twice before you say, sure, I'll watch your animal. Sure, leave them over here. What if they get out? And on top of that, you were compensated. So now I got a contractual relationship. And part of the deal is that everything that I leave, I expect to get it in the condition when I come back. Right? You will pay him $1,240 based on this appraisal. That is the order. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $1,240.
At the end of the day, I asked her to watch my dogs. I paid her. She didn't. Now she has to pay me.
I can't believe I have to pay him when I was doing him a favor. Baby gates are made for babies, not dogs.